In the vast, cold expanse of space, where the stars twinkled like diamonds scattered across an endless ocean, humanity had ventured beyond the cradle of Earth and established colonies across many star systems. Over centuries, human spacefaring capabilities had become a force to be reckoned with. As humanity expanded outward, it encountered new alien species, some peaceful, others hostile, and many who were opportunistic and ruthless. One such group, the Verashians, a band of intergalactic pirates known for their cunning and brutal raids, thought they had found an easy target when they set their sights on a human freighter cruising through a poorly charted sector of the galaxy. They were wrong, and they would learn a lesson that would echo through the ages. The Verashians were notorious throughout the galaxy. They were not the largest or most technologically advanced of the spacefaring species, but they made up for it with sheer ruthlessness. With their ship, the Dreadwind, a massive pirate cruiser, they had raided countless vessels and colonies, leaving behind only destruction and chaos. They were feared in every sector they roamed, and few dared to stand against them. Their weapons were formidable, their ships fast and agile, and their tactics were ruthless. They preyed upon weak or unsuspecting ships, merchant convoys, exploration vessels, and sometimes even military ships if the prize was valuable enough. It was on a seemingly routine patrol that the Verashians first spotted the human freighter, the Horizon's Wake, drifting through an uncharted sector. The freighter was a relatively small vessel, hardly armed to fight back against a pirate ship like the Dreadwind, and its cargo was said to contain rare minerals mined from one of the outer colony's valuable goods, to say the least. The Verashian captain, Trelgar, saw an opportunity. The freighter was out of range of any reinforcements, and its crew was likely unaware of the imminent threat approaching. A perfect target. He ordered his crew to prepare for a raid, to board the freighter, take the cargo, and eliminate any resistance. The Dreadwind dropped out of hyperspace just beyond the reach of the human ship's sensors. They moved silently, relying on their stealth technology to approach undetected. As they neared, they began preparations to launch their boarding pods. The pirates were confident. After all, they had successfully raided dozens of ships without breaking a sweat. But there was something about the Horizon's Wake that would surprise them, something they could never have anticipated. On board the Horizon's Wake, Captain Elias Tarrant and his crew were a seasoned group of individuals. They were not the soft, unprepared merchants that the pirates often preyed upon. The human crew was tough, and they had fought off raids before. Captain Tarrant, a former military officer with a reputation for his strategic brilliance, had seen his fair share of pirate threats. When the Dreadwind came into view on the radar, it wasn't the first time they'd faced danger, and it wouldn't be the last. But this time, the pirates had made a fatal miscalculation. The Horizon's Wake had recently undergone an extensive retrofit. After several encounters with pirates and other hostile entities, Captain Tarrant had outfitted the ship with some of humanity's most advanced defensive and offensive technologies, many of them based on reverse-engineered alien technology and some of their own cutting-edge designs. What the Verashians didn't know was that the Horizon's Wake had been secretly upgraded with a quantum field disruptor, a weapon so advanced it was capable of neutralizing even the most sophisticated pirate cloaking technologies. It was a tool that could bring down an enemy ship's defenses, rendering their weapons useless and their shields ineffective. The pirates, overconfident in their own superiority, would never have thought to expect such a response. As the Dreadwind closed the distance and readied its boarding pods, Captain Tarrant activated the quantum disruptor. A surge of energy pulsed through the freighter's systems, flooding the space around them with a faint but powerful ripple. It was a move so unexpected that for a few critical moments, The Verashians could only stare at their screens in disbelief. The Dreadwind sensors went haywire, its cloaking field flickered, and its shields fluctuated wildly. The pirates were momentarily blinded by the system overload. Their perfectly calculated raid was unraveling. Trelgar, the Verashian captain, cursed as his ship's systems malfunctioned. He had underestimated humanity's ingenuity. The Verashians had never encountered technology like this. Their own sensor technology was advanced, yes, but it was vulnerable to the quantum field disruptor's targeted jamming. As their boarding pods deployed, they found themselves unable to lock onto the Horizon's Wake's location with the precision they needed. The pirates' well-oiled plan had gone horribly wrong, and they were now at a disadvantage. In that critical moment, Captain Tarrant wasted no time. The human crew sprang into action, moving swiftly to disable the boarding pods before they could make contact with the ship's hull. The Horizon's Wake had been outfitted with point defense systems that humanity had designed to intercept and destroy incoming projectiles with surgical precision. Pirate pods were torn to shreds before they could breach the ship's exterior. But it wasn't just the technology that made humanity's response so effective, it was their training. The crew of the Horizon's Wake was disciplined, quick-thinking, and resolute. They had drilled countless times for situations just like this one, preparing for the day when they would face pirates who thought they could take advantage of humanity's relative newness in the galactic community. Meanwhile, the Verashian pirates were beginning to realize that they had underestimated their target. Trelgar had expected an easy raid and easy victory, but now, it seemed, his ship was taking on more than it could handle. The pirates were not used to being the ones on the defensive. Their standard tactics involved overwhelming their target with sheer numbers and firepower. Yet, against the humans, every move seemed to backfire. A series of energy pulses tore through the pirate ship's shields as humanity's newly upgraded weapon systems came online. These weapons, reverse-engineered from captured alien tech, allowed the Horizon's Wake to strike with pinpoint accuracy, bypassing the pirate ship's defenses. The pirates, though experienced in warfare, were unprepared for the intensity of the human counterattack. As the Dreadwind staggered under the barrage, Trelgar tried to regain control, barking orders to his crew to fire back. But something strange was happening. The Verashian ship's internal systems were failing. The quantum disruptor was not only damaging their cloaking systems, it was also interfering with their own weapon systems, causing their cannons to misfire and their torpedoes to detonate prematurely. For the first time in a long while, the Verashians were on the defensive. They had become the prey, and the predators were humans, a species they had thought too primitive to pose any real threat. The pirates attempted to board again, but this time, the human crew was ready. They had already activated automated defenses that repelled the pirates at every turn, locking down the cargo bays and stationing armed teams along critical access points. The pirates were met with a wall of resistance at every attempt, and the longer they fought, the more they realized they were outmatched. As the battle raged on, Trelgar ordered a retreat. His crew was dwindling, their ship was heavily damaged, and the element of surprise had long since evaporated. The pirates had never encountered a species like humanity, resourceful, relentless, and shockingly capable. Their raid had failed, and their ship was now on the brink of collapse. Trelgar cursed as his crew struggled to regain control of their systems. It was clear to him now, humans were not just survivors in this vast galaxy. They were predators in their own right. With the pirates in full retreat, Captain Tarrant called for the final push. The Horizon's Wake fired one last volley, a precise blast that crippled the Dreadwind's propulsion systems, sending it drifting helplessly into the dark void of space. The pirates had no way to escape. Trelgar had no choice but to order his crew to abandon ship, a humiliating defeat for the once feared pirate captain. When the dust settled, humanity had proven once again that their place in the galaxy was not just as survivors, but as a force to be reckoned with. The Varashian pirates had thought they could raid a human ship, expecting easy pickings, but instead they found themselves outsmarted and outgunned. The battle had ended not with the pirates victorious, but with them scattered and broken, their reputation shattered in a single, unforgettable encounter. They learned a hard way that humanity was not just a species that adapted to the galaxy's dangers. It was a species that could turn the tables on its enemies, using its intellect, its resilience, and its technological prowess to triumph in the most impossible of situations. The tale of how alien pirates tried to raid a human ship and didn't expect what came next would soon become a legend in the galaxy. It would serve as a warning to any who thought that humanity, with its rapid growth and relentless drive, was an easy target. The message was clear: never underestimate humanity. The galaxy would learn, in time, that a new power had arrived, one that had mastered the art of survival and, more importantly, the art of turning the tables on those who would prey upon the weak. It wasn't just about defeating the enemy, it was about doing so in such a way that they would never again think of crossing you. Humanity had become a force to be feared, and those who tried to exploit them would find, as the Varashians had, that the consequences were far greater than they could ever have imagined.